Bad Monkey Entertainment welcomes you to the Before 6 podcast. We discuss great music, those who make it, and their stories, all before you get your night started. Here are your hosts, Marv and Bishop.
Hi, I'm Marv.
I'm Bishop. We are Bad Monkey. Welcome to Before 6. How you doing, Marv? It's Before 6. We got Garret Schultz with us today.
I'm doing real good. I'm real excited here to have Garret Schultz in the studio with us today.
How you doing, Garrett? What's going on?
Not much. I'm doing pretty well. Just enjoy talking to you guys.
Everyone does.
Yeah, everybody does. We're popular like that. You got this new EP that came out, American Made.
Yes,
and
sir.
We were fortunate enough to come down there to Nashville and see a release party. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, what would you like to know about the release party or the EP or?
So I would like to start out with American Made the EP. What's the? I don't know. I don't want to sound too, fucking. What was the inspiration behind it? What's the vibe to the album?
What drove it?
Man, all right. So what it started to be and what it became is kind of like two different things. So when we started, all these songs that are on the EP American Made were recorded up in Pennsylvania, and I've had them for at least a year and a half. And I just kind of like, I got swindled into recording down here in Nashville. So I have 5 of those songs recorded in Nashville. So I have Nashville recordings, I have PA recordings. I got swindled, and I won't name names, but man, this guy, he's like, we're going to come down to Nashville. I trusted him. I really did. He's like, we're going to get better sounds and we're going to get better. I got a guy that can get you better mixes and stuff. I'm like, great, I'll try it. I trust you and I want to build this relationship. Yeah, so let's try it, and man, it was a clump of shit. This guy, I don't know who to blame, but I really do blame myself for not vetting and double checking things more and more and more. I was just kind of like, okay, let's do it. And that's $3,500 down the drain. So right. I'll never see him. Yeah, it's disappointing, but it's a learning curve. And if I can ever help anybody, I would love to. If anybody at sometime in life, they're like, hey, where should I record? What do you know about recording and stuff? I'll tell them everything I can, and to go to where you feel comfortable. It's laid out. There's no ambiguity, and you're a part of the process. And that's really the biggest thing, because down here people will take money from outsiders just because they're not from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody's a big star, right?
Yeah. Most of these songs, let me see. Can't Let You Go. Can't Let You Go was written about 4 years ago, or 5 years ago.
I love that song. That was my
Thank you. That one. These are kind of so I think this is still just a progress in me writing, and trying to figure out who I am as a performer and who I want my band to be. So this is kind of more in a rock country genre. Before it was more contemporary, pop country. And now I think I'm in where I want to be. This more in front, very high energy songs and high energy performances. So this song, this EP kind of represents that. I mean, all these songs, I'm trying to think. So I got First Time, Blue Collar Ways, Always Be,
My Blood is
In My Blood. All those were written. In My Blood was written with Sam Grow. That's the only. That's wrong. I'm wrong. Sam Grow, he's on In My Blood, and Round Here is Adrian Martin, and those are my first 2 co-writers on any song,
right?
That I put out, and all these songs were written, probably about 2-3 years ago, if not longer, in between. So it was my first. It was my first ones where I'm like, okay, I think these are my better songs that I've written in the past, and I like them, and we perform them. We performed all these songs already. I'm like, these feel good. Let's put these out. So it's kind of just like this more rock vibe that I'm going for.
So you said you recorded them in PA and then re-recorded in Nashville, correct?
Yes, but I didn't use the Nashville recordings.
That's what I was going to ask. Which ones did you end up
using?
Just
tossed to Nashville.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you heard them, I'll play them for you. But when you listen to music, you want to hear things spread out. You want to hear like something over here, something here, and something right down the middle, you know, and everything in the Nashville recording. I don't know what this guy was doing. I have no clue. Because I was like, this is what I want. I gave him examples. I gave him whatever. I was like, this is what recorded in PA. Please just use this as a template. I got frustrated. About 5, you get like changes. You get to send in and be like, hey, change this. And after like 4 or 5 changes, I was like, look, just do this. Make what we did in PA. Do that here. That's all you have to do. And he couldn't. And I don't know why, but but that's part of the Nashville process, right? You got to know somebody.
You do. You
got to be comfortable with your producer. And I was not, and it's okay, but it's just a lesson learned, and it sucked.
It's kind of like everything, right? Everything, it seems like, especially in this industry, is a lesson learned, it seems like.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, you just keep learning lessons until you're either done learning lessons or you're at the top, you know?
Or you make it, yeah.
Well, I was also going to ask how the process was and all this, but you just told us how the process was. So that was,
absolutely.
I'm glad it came to fruition, and, you know, good or bad, I'm glad it came out the way it did. I mean, I enjoyed, obviously, the music and the release party.
The release party was great, by the way. We were excited to be down there for that, and you and the band sounded awesome. It really came off great. Everything you did was perfect with it.
How was that for you, being your first release party? How'd you feel about it? Like, how did you know?
Yeah. It was cool.
What was it like putting it all together and like getting through all that?
Oh man,
because it seems like obviously we were there for part of it. And it seemed like it was a lot. It was a lot. You know, obviously we sponsored some of it and this and that, but what you put into it and everything seemed a lot.
Honestly, it was. It was easier than putting on a regular show, like at. At like wherever this was more fun.
Do you have more control over?
No, you have control. You have control over both situations. I think they were about the same on control. It was really just down here, unless you're a band that is like, blowing up or like you're selling tickets. We didn't sell tickets to this. It was all free. Right. But it was basically, we're playing to our friends,
right?
And not necessarily making money off of that gig. It was to try and get people out that are in the industry to see our stuff and be like, hey, I like you guys. Let's talk. Like, maybe let's talk about getting on a show, or like, that's the idea. Trying to make more connections.
Right.
And it was good. It was a lot of fun. And again, at the end of the day, we just really played to our friends and to people that mattered in our lives. So thankfully, you guys, Erica from Primetime 615 and the Vinyl Lounge, and Lauren, who they just like, it was just such a work together that I was very happy with the setup and like making everything come together, because for the first time in a long time, it felt like I wasn't doing it all.
Right.
And from it's tiring. Since like before Nashville, I was really doing everything. Booking shows, getting merch, blah, blah, blah. And then down here it's kind of cool because you start to build, what they call a camp, people that are by your side, and we're all pushing toward the same goal. Especially having Lauren like really get involved now too is less stressful.
Right.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time, and y'all did a good show. And, obviously, there was I don't think any evidence of anything I did, but I had a good time.
I think it was really good. I think we left before we got too out of hand.
Well, the Vinyl Lounge is a venue. I mean, that was the first time I've ever been there. Obviously, as an artist, how did you feel about the venue? What do you think about the venue, the Vinyl Lounge? And is it Vinyl Lounge and Vinyl Lab at the same place? They changed.
Yeah, same place. One is where they make the records, and the other is where they have performances and drinks and stuff. Yeah, it's fairly new. It's very, very new. I think like maybe September, October.
It was pretty cool.
Opened up.
Yeah, I liked it.
Cool idea. Yeah. I mean, everybody there was super nice. And they were since they're new, they were very into helping us get this out and work with it. Now, I will say this is a technical thing, and it's not bashing. I'm not trying to bash venue at all. I would never do that. Everybody was super nice. It was just that there's like the sound is very harsh, and there's no way a band cannot be quote unquote loud. Now, there's two things that come with that. One, you're in Nashville, so like a lot of these places weren't necessarily acoustically built to have good sound. They were just a hole in the wall, like winners or losers. Like, it's loud. It's going to be loud.
Yeah.
But at this place, you have pretty much metal and concrete, like cinder blocks, holding it up. Now, their stage, I say this, okay? And again, it's a fun time no matter what there, but I say this, they should lower that stage half. Like, because when you're set up, their speakers it's super hard to control the sound in there, but it would help if they lowered their stage, because now their drums aren't sitting up at everybody's ear level. Because if you remember, like if you're going to stand in front of the stage comes up to like like chest level or something. And you're like, okay, it's not bad if you have some conditioning on the side for the sound, but now the drums and all the cymbals, instead of carrying like they're right here at your face. So no matter what you have in the mains, like what vocals or anything, all you're going to hear is the drums cut right through here, because the mains are fighting the drum signal. So it's just a little weird, but other than that, everybody had a good time. I was very grateful for them just letting us have the spot, and they were cool. It's a cool spot. It's gonna be really cool. I hope for it.
And we were fortunate because I think we may have kind of acquired our space. I'm not sure if our space was actually available. But we kind of went upstairs and took over that.
Took up the
VIP upstairs area.
It's like a first
into a VIP area. But the sound up there was perfect. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like that's probably going to be the best sound in the house is up there, which is never, if you're in like a I don't know what you want to call it, like
an arena
event or something, like if you put that venue in like downtown Broadway, right, or like in anywhere else, that would not be like the sound up there where you guys are hearing it,
right,
is only going to be good at the Vinyl Lounge, like, because usually you want the great sound to be where most of the people are going to be. And then if you have extra money for speakers and stuff to put up on for your like little catwalks or upstairs, then you can condition the sound to sound good up there too. But it's like almost reverse. It just naturally is better up top than down there.
Yeah, because like when we go to say like Miranda's spot or whatever, and you go upstairs to the VIP, it's like exactly what you're saying. The music, it's a totally different vibe.
Yeah,
it's a different gig.
Yeah,
absolutely. You don't hear it as well as if you were downstairs.
Yeah, the Vinyl Lounge is kind of shaped on a slant. It's almost like a lean-to. If I remember correctly, I probably don't remember, but I think it's shaped like it's almost gradually up and then stops, flattens out. I might be wrong. And I probably am now that I'm thinking of it. So disregard what I was going to say. I was going to say it almost reminded me of a cone, but I'm not thinking of it correctly.
Well, it was after 6 when we were there, so it was. I don't know if we could help you with that either. So,
well, we were getting texts. I was getting texts from Adam and other people. They're like, "Are y'all coming or what?" And I was like,
yeah,
because I got kind of. at one point in time, I got kind of I don't say lost.
I think it's disorientated, maybe is the word.
But I was down on Broadway trying to find the driver, and the driver had to find me because I was a little.
He was at Bobby's. You were at Bobby's place down there, and may have been overserved at Kid Rock's place. So.
Definitely wasn't my fault.
That's hilarious.
So how's
you guys are always a good time, by the way. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is like when we got there, I probably told you this, like as soon as we landed, we checked into the hotel, got downtown, we decided to go grab some lunch.
Yeah.
We went to Winners, and then we were only there for 3 hours.
Yeah, maybe 3 hours.
Which I say only. That's
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Now it's before we actually met you for dinner at Bianco or something like that, a Mexican place.
Blanco. Yeah.
We tabbed out. We had like a $700 bar tab.
At Winners? Oh, at Winners, yeah. Yeah. That's right.
There was three of us, though. So, I mean, to our defense, there was three of us. Wasn't just two of us. There was three of us. So.
But that bar tab, I was like, this is going to be we've been here for 3 hours and we're
yeah. Well, I think the funniest part about that was when our lawyer, Blue, who you met, Blue said, "Hey, I'm going to pick up the tab."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Are you sure?" I mean,
I went to get the tab from the waitress. I was like, "Hey, we're going to tab out," and she's like, "Your guy took the tab, but you may want to go talk to him." I was like, "Why?" I was like, "How much was it?" And she's like, $700, and I kind of laughed. I was like, "That's pretty good." She's like, I don't know if he's witnessed one of those. I went over to him. I was like, "Hey, I heard you got the tab. You want to split that? You want?" And he looked at me. He goes, "I don't." He's like, "I don't. Is this right?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good." I was like, "We can split it, or we can take it, and you can pick up a later tab when it's more controlled environment." But he was like, "No, I got it." He got for us the trip. He got kind of T-Rex arms. Where
you got these alligator arms where he was like, "Okay, I'll get to the next one."
I can't reach my wallet.
I get there.
Hey, you partying with you guys or doing anything with you guys is no joke. Okay, you guys have another level that
we do go to that next level a lot of times. That's for sure.
So one question: how's the band taking the EP and how's all that? I know we talked to you, but how's
it's probably weird. I never really asked them, but I assume it's weird because, we recorded these songs.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we recorded these songs like about a year and a half ago. So like,
right.
It's like we've heard these songs probably 100,000 times. Like we're just because we were editing them and mixing them and getting everything right. And, so I think they were just like, they kind of probably felt like, all right, it's about time to do something, to put something out just so we can see what kind of attention we can draw. And that another thing, it was big for this release because it was our first time doing anything in Nashville. And it's the same game. There's just different rules, It's a different location. So we don't really know anybody. We don't know how to pull clout or get people in the industry, like the big wigs or anything interested in us. Like we have no idea. And so it was just a good learning curve about, okay, here, it gives us a baseline of what to beat next. So when we put out new songs or something else, we'd be like, all right, we were here. Now let's try and bump it up to here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm sure I speak for Marv as well. I appreciate you involving us and inviting us. And
we had a good time.
Being a part of the release. And it was a great time and great turnout. And I think y'all put on a hell of a show on, Garrett. Really did.
Well, Garrett, I got to tell you, we did while we were out at Winners, we did pick up, a few stray people along the way who just happened to be
stray people
out. Well, what it means. People we didn't know. I mean,
we strays.
They're actually from out here in Denver, which was kind of strange too.
What? No way.
We met people from Denver while we were at Winners, and
they're going to come to the St. Patty's Day party, and they were at your release party.
Word.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. So we brought three folks from there, and it was kind of unique because I got a picture of them standing up there, and they're taking video and picture of y'all playing and doing your show, and they were really into it and really checking it out. And I mean, when you can look around the crowd and you see people interacting like that and taking videos and pictures and kind of dancing to the music and things, I think it speaks volumes. You don't get to see that as much, as the artist up on stage, but we got to see that and witness that. And I was like, that's good.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I got, it took a while it's taken a while to become a performer that I want to be, Sure. And I'm always going to keep progressing, but it's fun putting on a show. It's even better with a light show, but before I really knew about like how to create an environment with your show, before I really looked into that, I didn't know. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to be a better performer. And then that made the show better. And then I was like, what else can make it better? It's lights. Lights add that adds the actual performance aspect, because now you can create drama. You can create, energy with lights. You can create a mood. And it's like, if you don't have that, it really takes your performance down a bit. But just wait till you see it with lights too. I'm happy with the way we perform and the way we play. But with lights, it just adds.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that pizzazz.
I think Zach Brown Band has one of the best light shows I've seen in this country, rock genre, and we saw them a couple years ago in a stadium environment, and their light show was really just what you're explaining was really made it too. I mean, it was just phenomenal on how they did things and how they made that as part of their show. It was great.
It's awesome because you can really, they also, I don't know when you saw them, but they also have video walls, which is just, video walls take things to a whole nother level. It's unreal.
I will say and it's unfair to Matt, but from a previous conversation you and I have had, every time I watch him perform, I grade him on the Luke Bryan effect that you and I discussed.
on Matt? Okay.
Where you're like, you need to get out there and get in their face a little bit. Get that.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get that dance going.
Get that junk out there. So I'm always like,
it is weird. The only reason that it's super weird to do it among friends and among other musicians is because, that you almost feel like that's the ultimate judgment,
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to disconnect from being Matt or from being Garrett and being not, if you knew that no one in the crowd never met you, it's so much easier to do that. Yeah. Absolutely. But it is funny. He's grown out of his shell. I think we've talked about it, but from where he was, where he was when he first played with us, I was like, hey man, he would just stay still, which is a lot of new musicians that are in the band. That's kind of that's the go-to, right? You just stand still and try not to fuck up the chords or the song. And then when you get more comfortable, I'm like, hey man, you need to put your wang in their face. Okay. You need to just slap it up against them.
You need to get out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I was judging. I was like, dude, Aquaman, get your junk out there. What are you doing? Yeah. I was like, I remember this conversation,
That's great.
It's very true.
So what's your plans for up and coming stuff? What do you have that you're working on right now? Can you talk about anything that you might have that is in the works?
Man, I have a bunch in the works. Let's see. Well, I got my own podcast called Living the Dream. That's out every Monday. I have new songs coming up. I'm always writing. Right. I'll have this series that I'll call work tape sessions. So it's basically like my first drafts of songs, record it, acoustic, maybe a little something simple in the background, like a little drum loop or something. But it'll basically be rough drafts of songs that I'll put out, like 5 or 6 each month. And then I'll also put them on YouTube. So that's in the works. That I think I'll have like 30 songs there. And then from those songs, I hope to create. Yeah. Well, it'll be 5 songs for about 6 months, I guess.
That's like you went with like a 36 album EP.
Yeah.
Try and take his throat goat title.
Yeah,
throat goat. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was a good interview too. He's funny.
That was great,
I can't remember. Caleb, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say you're the throat goat.
Yeah. He's like, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, it was good.
And then I have, so we recorded acoustic and an acoustic EP. Yeah, acoustic EP with video. I'll put the videos out on YouTube and I'll put the audio out after. Same with live. It's basically us playing live, a little more staged. Like there wasn't a crowd, but this is us recording our stuff live. So it'll be like a live EP as well from American Made. And then we'll put that on YouTube and on Spotify, Apple, all those.
Oh, that's cool.
And a couple more music videos coming up. And then I got, this is just a spring too. Like, so within the spring, and then I want to put out maybe 3 or 6 more songs from the summer into the fall.
Right.
And then 2023 try and get a full album going, but it's all just that's the plan. Try and put out as much stuff as we can. Now, as far as shows go, I mean, you and I, well, I should say we're both working together on the St. Patrick's Day show. I'm in Pittsburgh next weekend, which is the first weekend of March. And yeah, I mean, we have the other thing too, but I'm assuming we don't talk about it now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. You know, just trying to really grow.
You're always busy guy. You're always pushing forward.
Yeah. And that's
I'm trying, man. It's sometimes it eats at me because like and it's just not plight. I shouldn't say plight, but it's just it's the business of being an artist. You know, you always try and think about like, what can you do? What can you do next? And sometimes you don't know the answer.
Right.
So you're like, what is the answer? It's just consistency. You got to try and have some consistency so that people you're like reliable. You're a reliable source of entertainment and songs. And that's probably the hardest part, is just being consistent.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I think I don't have anything else for you.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm excited, to see what you all have coming up, and I'm real excited for you and the band both. The work you're doing and your plan that you got there, it's solid. We're excited to be here and check it out, and hopefully be talking to you again here real soon. Of course, St. Patty's Day and the day after. I don't know how we ended up with the day after too, but
that's how
we're here.
That's how we end up doing stuff, right?
That's how it happens, right? And so we're going to make that happen, and we're excited for that. So
thanks for getting your. Appreciate both of you getting your phones fixed so we can do this.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a wire and a little bit of tinfoil that you need.
Well, it's a good thing you were here to.
Yeah,
your patience with this was
you helped us out there.
Yeah.
So we took the tinfoil, like you said, and we wrapped it around. And we stuck it in there. It's been smoldering just a little bit, but I think it's going to work. So
that's just the connection working better.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Well, I think that's about it for today. You or Marv got anything else you want to say before I kick you off of this thing?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on, and thank you again. And we'll see each other very soon.
Looking forward to it for sure, brother.
Thanks for making time for us, Garrett. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, and stay well down there in Nashville. And we look forward to seeing you out here in Denver, Colorado soon.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
thanks for joining Marv and I and Garrett today before 6. Tune in for our next episode. And please continue to support up-and-coming artists. Please go to badmonkeyentertainment.com, as well as follow Garret Schultz Music.
Garret Schultz Music. And
follow us all on social media.
Social media and Instagram and
yes,
all those outlets that we have. So
yep. And until next time, for Marv and I.
Well, it's probably time for happy hour, isn't it?
It is. It is. Definitely is. It's past.
It's past 6.
It's actually past 6, and it's kind of thrown me off because I think we're getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, so we're gonna take off and go hit happy hour. So you have a great evening, and thanks again, Garrett. We appreciate y'all.
You ready, Mark?
I'm ready.
You've been listening to Bad Monkey Entertainment's Before 6 podcast with your hosts, Marv and Bishop, streaming on all platforms. We look forward to reconnecting soon. Before 6.